How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you some predictions for the debate coming up between Vice President Harris and Donald Trump. What is going to happen at that debate? Well, first of all, there's some speculation that Trump won't even show. I would have believed that maybe a week or two ago, but nah, he'll be there. He'll be there. He'll show. He doesn't want to debate her though, because he does know that that she's going to win. What's going to happen is he's going to tell probably 120 lies or so, and Harris is going to say some things that I agree with, some things that I don't agree with, and she's going to be tough. She's going to put Trump in his place, and he's not going to like it. He's going to, talk about how nasty she is and try to get her off her game, and he's going to fail, and she will instead take him off of his game. This is what I see happening. Now, keep in mind, this is all a prediction. Of course, anything could happen. And if I'm wrong, then I will come on here later and tell you that, hey, I got it wrong. But this is what I see happening. Will it play out that way? Yeah, I think it will. Well, what else is going to happen at that debate? Harris is going to be able to talk about policy. Trump is going to be able to talk in circles. He says nothing, right? He uses all the words and makes no points. Actually, he doesn't use all the words. He's got, like a 100-word vocabulary or something like that. Maybe 120-word vocabulary. That is not, that's not very good. He's a guy who made some terrible business decisions. He's a great businessman, but he is such a great businessman that he bankrupted his casinos. Poor management. And this is after he'd been in business for a long time, so, I understand that, you can bankrupt several businesses and still be a good businessman, but you can't bankrupt all of your businesses and be a good businessman. But I'm off on a tangent here, as I am prone to do, as you've noticed if you've seen any of my videos. So, what else is going to happen? Well, somebody somewhere is making a drinking game. And I am not really one for drinking games, mainly because, I'm not one to drink all that much. I have a beer or a glass of wine every now and then, and that's about it. But somebody's going to make a drinking game. And anybody involved in that drinking game, they're not going to remember the debate. They're not going to remember anything. What they're going to remember is, I had too much to drink. Because they are going, you got to take a drink every time Trump says that something is the absolute worst in history. It's the worst that it's ever been in American history, or the worst it's ever been in the history of the world. Or, when talking about himself, it's the best that it's ever been in the history of the world, or in American history. It's the greatest in American history, or it's the worst in American history, or the history of the world. And there's another one that. Oh yeah. I remembered. I was drawing a blank there. You know, because again, if you know my videos, you know that I am unscripted here. So it's going to happen every once in a while. And I didn't even take notes on this one. But what's going to happen is, again, with the drinking game, every time Trump says the likes of which nobody has ever seen before, which he's going to say that, and he's going to say that a lot. You know what? If you're the type to play drinking games, don't go with all of those options. Go with one of them. Because just one of them, well, actually, I wouldn't recommend playing those games because you'd probably die from alcohol poisoning, even using just one of them. So, yeah, don't play drinking games. I mean, there's a drinking game to be played there, but don't play it. But in terms of substance, yeah, Harris is going to run circles around Trump. You know, a lot of people say, well, Trump is a great debater. He's really not. I mean, he yells and he interrupts. He speaks in non sequiturs. He doesn't make any valid points. He is not a good debater. He's good at name calling and trying to throw people off their game. I don't think Harris is going to be rattled by it. I mean, Biden, he clearly was rattled by it. All the Republicans in the 2016 primaries, they were rattled by it. Hillary got rattled by it. I don't think Harris is going to get rattled by it. Instead, he's going to get rattled by the fact that she won't be knocked off of her game. That his playbook, I mean, he's already run all these plays. You know, I mean, if you've seen some of my videos, you've seen that I've worn various rock bands T-shirts. I recently wore my Warrant T-shirt, right? Might have worn a Foreigner T-shirt recently, right? Well, I saw Warrant not that long ago, and with the exception of like one new song, maybe two, it was all the greatest hits. Which is, that's fine, you know, for a band like that, it's fine. You know, their fans go to expecting all the greatest hits. When I saw Foreigner, it was all the greatest hits. You know, I think the newest song they played was probably I Want to Know What Love Is, right? And that's not a new song at all, but that's fine, you know, because everybody went there to hear the hits. You've also seen me wear a Five Finger Death Punch t-shirt, probably. Or a Volbeat t-shirt. Well, when I see those bands, I want new material, right? Because they're still out there. They're still making albums. They're still putting new stuff out. So, yeah, I want to hear the hits, but I also want to hear the new stuff with them, right? But, see, a politician shouldn't have a greatest hits, right? That you can keep going back to. And that's what Trump does. He keeps going back to the greatest hits. I mean, he goes back to rigged elections, you know, which he's been playing that hit since 2015. He keeps going back to, I'm treated so unfairly and everything is against me and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he plays the victim card. He plays everything is unfair and fake news, and, you name it. He's going to play the hits. And because he plays the hits, well, Harris knows how to sing along with him because she's heard him before. Whereas Harris, she doesn't really have greatest hits per se. I mean, she's that new artist out there that's putting out new material. You might not have heard it yet. I mean, yeah, she's got a few hits. She wants to expand on some things from the Biden administration, of course, because, well, she was part of that. And there's some things there that she should want to expand on and continue to grow with. And I don't fault her for that. There's certain things that, maybe you ought to move on from Biden, right? He did good in some areas, did not so good in some other areas. And, the same can be said here. Harris, she's going to continue with some of his policies and probably ditch some of his policies, which is fine. I mean, because she's not him. But again, as far as the debate, Harris, she's going to debate circles around Trump. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that she tried to get the rule changed to have the microphones hot the whole time rather than being turned off while the other person is speaking. And honestly, I would have loved for her to get her way on that. She didn't. That's fine. Whatever. She's still going to win the debate. But, yeah, she's going to win the debate. Trump is going to be Trump because he doesn't know how not to be. And the pundits after the fact are going to tell you that they both did a good job. Even though Trump is not going to do well at all. He never does well in a debate. But the pundits are going to tell you that, you know what, he was actually really good tonight. Is he? We'll see, I guess. Again, I could be wrong. That's my prediction for the debate. I'll see you next time.